Good evening and welcome to Velocity News. I'm Scott Pugh. As many of you know, President George Bush recently wrote his new book called Decision Points, and Velocity News got an exclusive interview with the former president. President Bush, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so glad you agreed to meet with me. You know, I've been a big fan of yours for a really long time. That's not true. I'm not a fan of yours at all. But I do know that you've heard of Velocity Church.
Right.
Anyhow, I also know that you got to meet some of Velocity's staff. So let me ask you, what did you think the very first time you met Michael Cox, our worship guy?
My reaction was twofold. One, there's a guy who loves his daughter.
Michael doesn't even have a daughter. I'm the one who has a daughter whose name is Madeline. She's 6, remember?
Right.
President Bush, you told me that during the summer of 2009, you and your wife Laura really felt like things weren't going the way that you really wanted them to go. And it was at that moment that you decided to try a Velocity fuel group. What led you to that decision?
I wasn't sure what would be successful, but I knew what would be unsuccessful, and that is the current strategy. So I was coming to the conclusion throughout the summer that we needed to try something differently.
So, if life wasn't going well for you, why didn't you go to a fuel group earlier?
First of all, I didn't have that luxury. You just don't have the luxury when you're president.
Fuel group isn't a luxury. Anybody can be a part of a fuel group. All you have to do is sign up in the lobby. Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
Well, I thought that your Secretary of State, Donald Rumpelstiltskin, encouraged you to be a part of a fuel group. Isn't that the case? Didn't he encourage you to go with him to fuel group?
He might have been saying, let's go. But I said no.
How do you feel about waiting so long to be a part of a fuel group?
Huge mistake.
At your first small group experience, something happened. You, being the clumsy Texan that you are, spilled your water on a little girl, but you never said that you were sorry. Why is that?
I mean, apologizing would basically say the decision was a wrong decision, and I don't believe it was a wrong decision.
Spilling something isn't a wrong decision, it's an accident, and I am sure that you wouldn't intentionally spill your glass of water on a little girl. Okay. Well, I have been told that every time fuel group is over, you have a unique message for everyone who's a part of your small group. What is it that you say to the people in your fuel group when everything is done for the evening?
Good going, men and women. Great mission. Or something, I don't know what it is. But
when we come back, see how President Bush chose the fuel group that he attends. Next on Velocity News.